It's a new week. Welcome to Monday on the AM show. As we start this week, what can I do? I can only wish you the very best of today and the rest of the week. I know times are difficult, but it is difficult times that bring out the very best in us. My name is Benjamin Akako, and I wish you a wonderful week. On that note, we kickstart the show, and right after the news, which will be presented shortly, we'll be serving you the news review. Guess who joins us? Well, we're going to have Suleiman Abrahima. It's been a while. He's going to join the conversation this morning. After that, sports, and then we get into our big stories. Now, number one on the chopping board, the main thing we're focusing on today. Some military officers stormed Garu in the Upper East region on Sunday to subject civilians, particularly men. They had to basically flee to corporal punishment and physical assault, resulting in many injuries. You should see some of the photos, the videos. Now, it is unclear what exactly triggered the incident, but the members of parliament for Garu and Tempani have condemned the attack. This morning, we're going to be throwing the spotlight on that issue. Also, Bibi Abba. Erastus Asaridonko, our very own, has been crowned the PAV Answer Journalist of the Year at the just ended Ghana Journalist Awards. We're telling you a lot more about that, but there were other winners on the night for Team Multimedia, and we'll be interacting with them on the show. But guess what? We'd also hear from the University of Professional Studies, Accra. They are celebrating their alumni. We'll be telling you about activities lined up for this event. And then, court issues here and there. We lost, we won. Chinchinia Yempene. Well, today, we climax the 2023 National Science and Math Quiz. 3 former champions are competing for the gong, the ultimate prize. Presec is seeking to defend its title against Opokuwari School and Achimota School. We've got in-depth coverage, analysis, and more for you as we head to all the campuses, as well as the main event later in the day. The special guest of honor, President Akufo-Addo, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And there have been some interesting messages on social media. You can read those yourself. But that's what the show looks like this morning. Coming up next, the news. Thank you for staying. Let's settle for the news now. And our first story. Residents of Enchera, a farming community in the Wenchi municipality of the Bono region, are asking government to provide clean, potable water to their community. They lament how they have been drinking from a polluted stream for years. Correspondent Anas Sabet was in the community and filed this report.
Safe and readily available water is important for public health, whether it is used for drinking, domestic use, food production, or recreational purposes, and the Sustainable Development Goal 6 calls for universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water. This basic human right, as defined in the UN 2010 General Assembly document, is sadly out of reach for the people of Enchera here in the Wenchi municipality of the Bono region. Boy Matthew is a farmer and a resident here. He tells me that the only source of drinking water for the people here is untreated and poses as a health threat to the people.
So no, say the no more a hardjune.
The people living along the river do a lot of activities that lead to its contamination, and we go about drinking it without treatment. Also, the animals find their way into the river, and it is not hygienic at all. Most of the women in the area express concern at the fact that children in the area usually get to school late as a result of the distance from the river source to their homes. School children who have to either fetch water or bath at the riverside get late to school because we have no other water source here.
omobeba no na chese mfa nsa ade achi tie basa kra omutumi late.
Another resident of Mile 2, Sister Gifty, says the unhygienic nature of the water they drink is leading to the outbreak of diseases, a situation health authorities in the area are taking steps to get it averted.
Health
authorities recently raised concerns about a possible outbreak of waterborne diseases in this community and have given us some preventive medicines to curtail that. There are organisms in the water and the health officials here are giving us some medicines to prevent a possible outbreak of waterborne diseases. Assembly member for Ntra Jumo Ntema electoral area Isaac Nyamicha also shares his frustrations with the current situation, adding that the situation is affecting education in the area.
Especially school for Sora no pa
we are going through a lot, especially school children. They have to wake up very early to fetch water from the river, so they get to school early, but still, most of them miss out on the first lessons by the time they get to school. The people here, however, are appealing to authorities for support.
Nasenka nsuo no de omutubi maya nkepe vise se ebi wo ho a ye mmesa we se ye konom no ye benom ne omatumi ntine ye nyabisa de ankebe boye
Ana Sabit, Joy News, Ntra.
Now, Dean of the School of Education and Lifelong Learning, Professor Mohammed Hadi Bolaji, has described political interference as one of the principal challenges confronting quality delivery in the country. Delivering a lecture at the 30th Annual Conference of District Directors of Education, Professor Bolaji said this had led to frequent changes in vital areas like curricula, assessment, and teacher training. Rafiq Salam reports.
The Foundation Dean, School of Education, Lifelong Learning at the Simon Diedon Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies, Professor Mohammed Hadi Abdul Ghani Bolaji, speaking on the theme Resourcing of Basic Education in Ghana for Quality Education Delivery, first gave an overview of progress made so far in basic education in the country, starting with the implementation of the free compulsory universal basic education 27 years ago.
Learning outcomes, especially in proficiency in reading, increased from 35% in 2011 to 45% in 2008. Learning outcomes are still low, with 14% of pupils reaching minimum proficiency in mathematics in 2008. Literacy rates and education in certain subjects have improved as enrollment rates at the basic level have significantly increased. With the introduction of the new standard-based curriculum in 2019, which targets the development of key competencies and skills for the 21st century, the quality of education and the relevance of basic education curriculum have been boosted.
Professor Mohammed Hadi Bolaji pointed out some challenges that are affront to quality education delivery in the country,
such as resource constraints, infrastructural deficit, access, equity, and inclusion issues, unsatisfactory learning outcomes, low teacher motivation and retention, student retention, and policy instability due to politicization. I emphasize that.
He then zeroed in on what he called budgetary quagmire or predicament, which he said has resulted in the decline of budgetary allocation of the Ministry of Education in real and nominal terms.
Now, the founder of the 7A's College of Science and Technology, Nathaniel Adams Jr., says his outfit will continue to work to promote science education up north. The school has, for the past 10 years, been working to ensure students are given practical science lessons to keep them on track. Mr. Adams Jr. spoke at the celebration of its 10th anniversary, where the school was renamed Northern College of Science and Technology. Martina Bugri now reports.
The 7A's College of Science and Technology, now Northern College of Science and Technology, which was established in 2013, is to offer science to rural children who cannot afford to travel to big towns and cities to acquire better science education. With their focus on science, the founder said it was to create a platform for these children who have lived all their lives in rural communities to return and serve in their communities after graduation. Speaking at the 10th anniversary celebration, the founder, Nathaniel Adams Jr., said the only solution to shortage of health staff in rural Ghana is to raise the staff from the area.
Because there is only one doctor. And there are no doctors. With them, Yendi was over 70,000. 7 other districts, the Eastern Corridor districts, no doctors, nurses were a problem. The question was, how do we solve this problem? Because they refuse posting to the north, and they will not come. Because you don't expect someone to live in Accra, eat his cake, go to school, finish the university, then you tell him you are bringing him to the north and you are going to motivate him with money. Money cannot buy his friends. It cannot give him the pleasure and the family he is losing. The only solution is for us to raise our own. And to raise doctors and nurses and engineers and everything possible here.
The guest speaker, the Vice Chancellor of the University for Development Studies, Professor Saidu Al-Hassan, on his part, said the school's vision is relevant to the development of Ghana.
I have raised the vision of this school. It's very relevant for national development. I have gone through the mission of this school, which has to do with how we can create people with life skills by using science and technology to transform rural communities of this country. This is very, very important. From teaching, they train these small young girls and boys how to do things on their own. Education is not just only done in the classroom. We have learning opportunities outside the classroom. This is very, very important. They have been able to promote academic excellence. They have produced over 100 students already, contributed to balanced development.
The overlord of Dagbang, Yana Abukari II, whose speech was read on his behalf, commended the school for the transformational role it's playing in Yendi and the northern region at large.
Considering the area of education, various successive governments and philanthropists, in collaboration with the chiefs and the people, have contributed enormously towards the quality of education in this community. It is, however, worthy to note that the great impact of 7A's College of Sciences and Technology is making in area of education is incomparable among the philanthropic contributions we've experienced in this part of the country. The college has greatly helped in addressing the challenges of education in the whole of the northern and Oti regions, which requires our support, commendation, and celebration.
The municipal chief executive for Yendi, Zakaria Abubakar Sadiq, said the school had raised the bar when it comes to education in the area.
We already have product of this school serving the nation very well.
And some are still pursuing the course, the long courses like medical.
The president of the alumni, Ruby Mayila, said the school has groomed them to fit in all spheres of life.
Our school holds the memories of countless experiences that have shaped us into the individuals we are today. As alumni, we are living testaments to the transformative power of education. We stand here as doctors, engineers, pilots, teachers, entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders in different walks of life, each armed with the values and skills instilled within this very world. Our school has laid the foundation for our success and equipped us with the tools to make an impact in this society.
As part of the event, 2 of their staff were rewarded for their dedication and commitment to the school, whilst the school unveiled its new name, the Northern College of Science and Technology. For Joy News, Martina Bugri reporting.
Now, AgroCrown, an agrochemical company, has renovated the Lengbuk DA Primary School in Tolong after a rainstorm destroyed the building 11 years ago. The storm hit the community, destroying property including the 3-unit classroom block. Since then, efforts to get the structure rehabilitated for classes have been futile, forcing school authorities to hold classes under very poor conditions. Here's another report by Martina Bugri.
Community members recounted the violent rainstorm that ripped off the already old structure of its roof and other parts, making it uninhabitable for teaching and learning. This forced school authorities to seek for help to renovate the school. Speaking at the unveiling ceremony, the executive director of AgroCrown, Pearl Boglak, said every child deserves quality education irrespective of where they find themselves.
I stand before you today with a heart filled with gratitude and hope, knowing that by completing this 3-unit classroom block, we have empowered many pupils to sit comfortably and learn here in Lengbuk. We have gathered here in the heart of this beautiful yet underserved community of Lengbuk. We are gathered here to witness the unveiling of this newly renovated classroom block. We celebrate today the transformative power of education. This day is not only about bricks and mortar, nor is it about paint and plaster. It is about the dreams and aspirations of the bright and young minds here today. It is about the unwavering commitment of educators, parents, teachers, and the entire community here in Lengbuk, who believe that the child, every child in fact, regardless of their circumstance, regardless of their background, deserve quality education. Today, this school renovation project represents the convergence of hope, dedication, and action. It embodies the belief that every child deserves a safe and conducive learning environment.
The head teacher of the Lengbuk DA Primary School, Idrisu Abukari Zakaria, said the renovation would not only restore hope, but build confidence and smiles on the faces of the learners.
On behalf of my staff, the SMC, and the entire community, I would like to express my sincere and profound gratitude to AgroCrown West African Company Limited for taking it upon themselves to give this school a facelift. This will not only improve quality of teaching and learning, it will go a long way to restore hope, confidence, and smile on the face of the learners. Ever since this building was ripped off by storm in 2012, the community and my successive head teachers had tried all their possible best to get the situation remedied, but to no avail. The burden that your company has taken off our shoulders cannot be quantified in words. We are relieved indeed.
The assemblyman for the area, Abubakar Zakaria, thanked Agro Crown for the support, but also appealed for the renovation of the teachers' quarters and other structures in the school.
If I want to say, it has been 11 years now since this 3-unit classroom was destroyed by a rainstorm. That was in the year 2012. Then the rainstorm. Since then, we have been making appeals to organizations, the district assembly, the violence people, of which we have not getting the assistance. We have not been getting the assistance. And then Agro Crown Ghana Limited, West African Limited also listened to that and come to our plea, and come to our aid. So on behalf of Yab Longonga, we are expressing our gratitude to you for helping this our school to come to reality.
Now, 3 schools, 9 contestants, 2 proud regions. That's what awaits us at the climax of this year's National Science and Math Quiz as Presec Legon battle Opoku-Ware School and Achimota School. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku brings us a wrap of the journey of the 3 schools.
After a long and nail-biting journey from the regional qualifications to the national tournament, 3 schools are set to battle it out for the coveted trophy. 2-time champions Achimota School and Opoku-Ware School will face off 7-time champions Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. Their journeys to the grand finale has been arduous. Coming all the way from the regional qualification to the grand finale, Achimota School showcased their mettle at every stage of the competition. The school last qualified to the finals in 2009 but lost the trophy to Presec Legon. But with unbroken determination, the Achimotans left no stone unturned.
After the contest, Achimota School is going to be in prison because we are going to murder Presec and OWAS.
We are going to murder Presec and OWAS.
Simple.
We are living our test to a test still, no matter what, we will win. No matter what, we win. You don't see any threat ahead. We don't see anybody. Like we are coming with a force. You see the energy,
It's been 21 years since they last lifted the trophy. Opoku-Ware School, after missing the trophy in 2020, landed their 9th final appearance after ousting their all-time foe, Pempe College and Pope John SHS and Minor Seminary. Their Kateches are hungry and ready to devour any school to clinch their 3rd trophy.
My boys are prepared. And I know that we are going to murder all of them. We are going to kill them. We are going to kill them. We don't know Presec. Who is Presec?
Opoku-Ware School. Opoku-Ware School 2023. We are winning. We are winning. Who is Presec? Achimota. We will take their trophy from their hometown and bring it to Ashanti region. Fantastic.
Form 1, and he's already lasting the Form 3, who have stayed for 3 years. We are just trying to say that 1 year in Opoku-Ware School is worth more than 3 years in Premped and Presec and Co. Yes.
We want to tell them that there is a Latin phrase which states cum nagrafa, dagrafa.
So what is written? What is written?
It is written that we are bringing the trophy in Kumasi. It's between 2 schools. And I want to tell them that Achimota Presec, they will play and they will become second. Presec and Achimota, they be heroes. This is that school. I want them to go. This is that school. I want them to go. Hey, I want to be your daddy.
With their mantra, our living God is faithful and great, 7-time champions Presec Legon is anticipating their 8th trophy. The school, since their painful exit in 2018, has proven to be an invincible force, securing their seats at the grand finale for 5 consecutive years. The defending champions began their journey at the 1-8 stage, eliminating Konongo Dumase and Kumasi Wesley Girls. Proceeding to the quarterfinal stage, the school met their all-time city rivals Accra Academy and Ghana Secondary Technical School in a fierce strive to yet again repeat complete history, the boys withstood the heat from the Kwabuchi boys to topple them and qualified to the grand finale. The Odabians are optimistic of a back-to-back win.
I trust in Patel Hotel and Selling now because this contest is something easy. We can do it because
it's easy, bro.
Yeah, we can do it because it's one-sided. It's every day presec, and the schools we are meeting, I don't see them to be competitive, so we can win.
Achimota and Opokuwari, we are going back to do our homework. We are going back to work hard because it's not over. We are taking the 8th trophy. 8 is written, and we believe in a great God, and we know that our God is faithful, and so we are taking the 8th trophy.
But time can only tell if victory, the Trinity, or a great God will be the winning mantra for the year. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kwiku.
Now, from one spirit-filled performance to another, that was the experience at this year's Adum Praise, dubbed the Choirs Edition, which took place on Sunday at the Paris Dome. Patrons of the event were led to the throne of God in a charged atmosphere of worship by 10 choral groups jointly performing with giants in the gospel industry, including Joe Mettle, PSA Esther, and Kofi Owusu-Pepra, among others.
It's so massive, and I'm so happy. I'm very happy to have an encounter with a lot of people, and as you can see, my voice is already going because the joy, Charlie, I can't even express myself because I've experienced a grace, and I can't wait to see PSA Esther, Kofi Pepra, and the rest. I'm so overwhelmed, and I've even gotten strength because the word says that the joy of the Lord is our strength, and I've been overwhelmed. I don't even know what to say again. To the organizers is that God richly bless everybody who contributed to the program. I think this thing should continue, and it's going to open doors for a lot of people, and I'm saying that may the Almighty God show his blessing upon everybody whose spending is inside this program.
I came all the way from Kaswa just to experience Adum Praise, so everything is good. The ministers, they are on point, everything is on point. It's in eternity, yeah, because the performance was smart, everything is on point, everything is on point. So I think eternity is good. I'll say God bless you all because it's not easy to organize such a big program. So God bless you all. That's what.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very fulfilled and excited. I really got what I wanted. That as at now, I'm satisfied, and I know I'm not going empty-handed. Whatsoever words are in the song and whatsoever movement I did, God has appreciated it, and I know whatsoever blessing I deserve, me and my generations will get it.
This is my first time, but I think it's a great experience. I enjoyed the choir, the various choir. ICGC was good, and because I'm a Voltarian too, I liked our own people, the Better Revival choir. Everything was okay. The worship was nice, and I felt the spirit.
This is the first time I'm attending this program. Though I've been a member of this church for some years now, but I did not have the opportunity to be here, and I cannot express my joy in worship and praises inside there. I felt lifted up this evening, and I felt that what I'm going through personally, the songs, ministrations, has given me a hope. So this is something I wish it continues every year in this dome, the Perez Dome. I'm really glad.
Well, now, that's how we cap off the news, but up next, we have the news review with Suleiman Abrahima. Do stay. It's AM News Review time. Welcome back on the show. And we host our guest, Ahmed Kariama, Awal Ahmed Kariama, Executive Director, Rise Ghana. But before I get to him, let's let you know, of course, that this segment is always brought to you by Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. And if you're a man, they're offering you prostate screening for free. If you're a woman, they're offering you fertility screening for free. Here's where you can locate them. Here in Accra, Spintex opposite the Shell signboard, Kumasi, Kronoma here behind the Angel Educational Complex. There's Takrady Anaji Estate. There's Tema Community 22. There's also Techiman Hanso and Siamanzama. Their call lines 0244 867 068 or 0274 234 321. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. But just the start of the news review with Awal Ahmed Kariama, Executive Director, Rise Ghana. Good morning, Awal.
Good morning, sir, and thank you for having me.
It's good to have you join the conversation. Let's start off from what has happened recently in Garu, in the Upper East region, and that, assault by military officers. We've seen the pictures, we've seen the footage. It's heart-wrenching. We still cannot confirm exactly what led to this situation, but I'd like to find out from you, what is your take on what has happened so far?
Yes, so first of all, good morning to your listeners as well as viewers. And thank you for the opportunity to discuss the newspapers for today. And talking about the issue of Garu, I think that we, first of all, need to condemn the action. In a democratic dispensation, these actions in terms of extrajudicial methods, in terms of handling suspects, is unacceptable and should be condemned in no uncertain terms. I also want to move further to express condolences and sympathies to the families that have unfortunately been caught in the way. But that is also to say that beyond that, we need to condemn the action of the citizens in the Garu area who, after engaging the national security operatives and having them comply and then actually agreeing to go with them to the state police station, they should have exercised restraint, but not to return there. We understand that they returned there and they shot at the vehicle of the national security and tried to actually harm them. But this larger conversation ties into what we have been talking about, the fact that fake news, misinformation and disinformation is what is driving citizens to be able to take up arms against state authorities. We also know that there have been rife rumors, some of which have not been investigated, allegations of state security getting neck deep into the conflict in Boko and other areas that has seen conflict over time. So largely, if you look at the situation, there is a pattern. Okay, there's a pattern where a police officer was shot. There's a pattern where immigration officers were shot. There's a pattern where an intelligence vehicle belonging to the security authorities was set ablaze with ammunition. There was an incident where a police was escorting quite recently some market people, vehicles, and they were accosted and attacked and shot at by no less than 10 gunmen within just some few kilometers from the Garu area, even though it's in a different district. So there's a trend and a pattern building from lack of trust for the national security, building from lack of swift response from the national security operatives, because like Bob Marley said, when you give somebody an inch, the person may take a yard. So the bandits who have been causing this mayhem has started from small actions like burning wares in markets, accosting vehicles and attacking them. And when these things happen and perpetrators are not brought to book, then they become emboldened to be able to commit other more serious offenses. And as we speak, we have seen a letter from the national security about narrating the ordeal of the situation. But you see, the issue about military intervention in some of these things is that the bad nuts who actually will create this will find a way to hide. They will generally run away knowing that they have committed an offense. At the end of the day, when they go to the community, I mean, every able-bodied body is a suspect, able-bodied person is a suspect. So in the end, they may end up harming innocent people. But that also goes to speak to the narrative that if you are a community leader or a youth in a particular area, you should speak up against wrong. Okay, you see people, citizens who are not in the mainstream security forces, having weapons when there is a ban on all persons carrying weapons in the geographical area? What have you done on your own? So we have a responsibility to report some of the people we see around. And you see, people are questioning that, well, the young people have been vigilant and they have intercepted this. Yes, citizens are being called to be vigilant and to report instances like this. But your ability and your right to report ends as long as you get the matter to the police station. Lead the appropriate authorities to lead. And I must say that young people in Boko and other places must be careful with the viral, inciting, and hate speech that come as a result of the various WhatsApp audio messages that come about. I am privy to at least 2 WhatsApp audio messages inciting that people should not just hand over these vehicles to their authorities, but they should rather have burned the vehicles and killed the occupants. And in fact, it was a timely intervention of the military from Boko that has solved the situation. We would have been talking about a different matter. And you know, this country, sometimes we question a lot the legitimacy, the responsiveness, the swift action of some of the state authorities in terms of investigating matters and bringing finality to them. When you look at the case of the immigration officers, it's still pending, okay? Nobody has been, arrested and prosecuted for that matter. And so when things like this happen, it goes to fester. One side of that is that it emboldens whoever is committing that crime to continue to perpetuate that crime. The other option is that it intimidates the security authorities to the extent that they are not able to be professional, they are not able to speak up their mind, they are not able to do what they are required to do. So the situation in Garu is unfortunate. Under no basis should citizens be paraded and be treated with our dignity.
Right.
That is an affront of constitution.
Right.
But coming events, they say, cast their shadows. And if you look at the trend, you will see the pattern. So the military, I think, felt that they have been pushed to some extent. And they, unfortunately, and when you are angry, the action that you take might be...
And so, Awal, I feel that it's spot on what you've said. When you're angry, of course, you may do certain things in a certain way, which may not exactly augur well for the masses, if I may put it that way. But even in bringing security to bear or restoring calm, this has to be done. They have to temper whatever anger with the right motives and the right actions. But I do get the point you're making as well, because in parts of the northern belt, we have seen instances where especially the youth have taken the law into their own hands and they do certain things, commit certain actions. It cannot be thought that these will just be let slide, you know, and like you said, you cannot attack security officials. You cannot on these WhatsApp pages. And that's becoming another issue. These WhatsApp pages with people putting all kinds of information there, sometimes information that is baseless, information that is not true, and then ordinary citizens arise and go and, you know, perpetrate actions that ought not to be perpetrated. So I do not know. But I think a lot of sensitization, a lot of education has to go into, getting people aware that it's not everything you hear that you react to. And even when you think you have the right, the security officials are those mandated to resolve these problems. And the final thing I will say, it's an issue we've discussed before, the proliferation of arms, especially in the northern belt of the country. It is by and by becoming a problem, a grave problem, and I do not know what you think that means or what it bodes in terms of the insurgency all around us. Maybe just some very brief thoughts on that, and then we shall move into the papers.
Yes, I think that the issue of small arms and the using of small arms in terms of the parts of northern Ghana, and in fact, by extension, some of the border communities across Ghana. I mean, there are weapons that are being smuggled from Burkina Faso, from Cote d'Ivoire, and others. And if you check, you realize that some of the ordinary citizens, look, I have listened just back to the audios that we spoke about and the WhatsApp. Ordinary citizens saying that they basically do not fear the security. They only respect their uniform because what they have in terms of the accoutrements they are carrying, the weapons and others, they have similar. Okay, so for citizens to openly dare And you see, there are already grievances in our various communities that have not been addressed. So for us, some of us think that it's just a matter of time that somebody feeds on these grievances to be able to recruit people, and we have a looming insurgency in our hand. So the proliferation of small arms and light weapons is a very scary situation. Unfortunately, the citizens seem to be able to evade the security forces each time because there is always a search and retrieve exercise. If you look at also the statement from the national security, they are that they went there to retrieve weapons. And I'll be surprised if they are able to retrieve weapons there because they seem to be always doing this and they don't seem to be succeeding. There was a time a certain DC of Boku Municipal asked that there should be an amnesty for people to return their weapons. But nobody turned up. I think a few people turned weapons, but then majority of the weapons are still at large. And we need to have a dedicated strategic program to be able to take up the arms, not just silence them. The ministry has been talking about silencing the guns. We need to take the guns out of the people who don't belong to using guns.
All right. Let's get into the papers now. Interesting, dynamics you've brought to the Garu Tempane conversation. And of course, the members of parliament for those areas have also, shared their thoughts on the matter. But the Ghanaian publisher newspaper this morning, it talks about the Garu incident. National security restores calm in Garu. There's also a free Akoto calls for fairness in Saturday's NPP presidential primary. Bawumia cruising to landslide victory, latest survey indicates. And the Ghanaian publisher also bringing us this story. Jinapo defends Atlantic lithium deal, says it's best for Ghana. Ayo. According to him, Samuel Abu Jinapo, he has praised the transaction between the government of Ghana and the Barari DV Limited, a subsidiary of Atlantic Lithium Limited, as one of the finest mineral resource exploitation deals in Africa and beyond. The minister explained that the government made a deliberate choice to treat lithium and other green minerals differently from already mined minerals. As such, an agreement was reached with enhanced benefits for Ghana, as he says it. But then let's get into that other story. A recent poll conducted by the Center for Sustainable African Development Initiatives, this is new, UK, and Outcomes International Ghana have projected Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia to secure a landslide victory in the New Patriotic Party presidential primary scheduled for Saturday, November 4, 2023. The poll carried out from October 10 to 20, 2023, surveyed 9,300 polling station executives across all 16 regions. According to the findings, Vice President Bawumia was anticipated to garner an impressive 80.8% of the total votes. His closest competitor, Asin Central Member of Parliament, Kennedy Ejapong, is trailing far behind with 10.4%, while Honorable Dr. Osuefri Akoto secured 1.1% and Honorable Francis Adainimo received 0.4%. Notably, 7.3% of the delegates remained undecided. But let's do this. There has also been the Global Info Analytics Survey, which pointed to findings that it wouldn't be that easy for the vice president. That pointed to the fact that Kennedy Ejapong would secure some 20+%, with the vice president not getting up to 80%. But in the end, it is November 4, D-Day, that will see how the cookie crumbles. So those are the stories there that I'd like to highlight. Let me also bring in the Find newspaper, and then I'll bring you back in. So there's that story as well, poll predicting strong lead for Dr. Bawumia. And then the bit about the lithium, as has been mentioned. Gamanye laid to rest in a solemn and culturally rich ceremony that was over the weekend. Attackers of national security officers arrested, and NADMO assures relief for every affected home in flooding disaster. Let me bring you just a snippet of that story. So there will be 3 stories to react to. The National Disaster Management Organization has provided strong assurances that every home affected by the recent flooding in the Volta and parts of the eastern regions will receive the relief and support they need to recover from the disaster. This pledge came during an inspection of relief items intended to assist those impacted by the controlled spillage from the Akosombo Dam. So 3 issues to reflect on. Bawumia supposedly cruising to a landslide victory. Then there's also that other story, Jinapo defending the lithium deal, and then NADMO. Any quick reactions, Awal?
Yes, so thank you very much. I think that let me start with the NADMO flooding. and to commiserate with the affected families in the Volta Basin and the enclave.
Right.
We are happy that now that the waters have started receding, people are picking the pieces and then getting back to their lives. It's an unfortunate situation that has happened, and going forward, this should be a learning point for the Volta River Authority as well as the National Disaster Management Organization and our country in terms of our resilience planning to prevent some of these things from happening. And then I think that some of the communities are asking for compensation and others. And I think that some of the things they are saying should be looked into, and where there is merit, the appropriate compensation should be given. And then also we need to also look at the citizenry in terms of, whilst we're asking the state to be accountable, we as citizens also need to be accountable and responsive. I mean, there are certain places where have been demarcated as an area that should not be habitable. We have found people are inhabiting these places. We have found that people have been notified to evacuate in some places and they didn't evacuate. So some of these things need to be taken into account so that we have a strategic program in place to be able to evacuate people and ensure that whatever plans for spilling the dam is taken into consideration with a human face and using a rights-based approach to ensure that lives and livelihoods are protected so that people's dreams and aspirations are in check, and then ensure that they are able to exercise this basic right to have a shelter, to live in dignity, and to live without any fear, because the trauma that this flood has brought is quite serious. And talking about you also mentioned about the lithium deal. I think that natural resources that are invested in a particular country, the government of the day, as well as the citizenry, have a legal and moral obligation to ensure that whatever arrangement and projects or programs that we are going to have around the extraction as well as imports of some of these natural resources from other jurisdictions and for national interest should be based on value for money, should be based on a sustainability and equal opportunities and equal benefits for both actors. But we have sadly observed over time some of the arrangements where, I mean, if you look at other jurisdictions, the arrangement for some of these natural resources in terms of their purchase agreement, in terms of their export agreement and others, leave so much to be desired, with Western countries taking a majority of the chunk in terms of benefits and leaving us with peanuts. I am not a fan of military interventions and military juntas and things like that. But I have followed recently that the fact that in terms of uranium at the global market, the price was 200 euros. And then the Republic of Niger was selling it or being asked to sell it at 0.8 cents to France. And then in that accord, France intends to sell it at the global market. And we have followed news recently that the military junta is saying that they are setting the price at 200 euros from their own jurisdiction. So going forward, my brief take on this lithium issue is whatever discussions, whatever arrangement that we are having, we should have value for money. We should read the fine print very well and ensure that whatever agreement that we are doing, in the end, Ghana does not only benefit today, but Ghana benefits now and in generations to come.
We're limited. We're pressed for time, Awal. So on the next point, just make it brief so we move on.
Yeah, so on the polls, I think that we've had polls that have worked. We have had polls that have not worked. It's an exciting, following my good friend Albert Sore's expose on fear delegates. We wait till November 4th to see, and we wish whoever emerges as the victor the very best of luck.
Fear delegates. Well, we'll see whether Sir John will still have a say in this primary. But the Daily Guide newspaper, two stories. It regurgitates stories we've already seen, but I'll focus on Frontiers Healthcare Services debunking allegations of corruption, and this one, Nana commissions 105 EU military vehicles, and NAM1. So let me start from here. The Economic and Financial Court in Accra has told embattled businessman Nana Appiah Mensah, alias Nam1, that it will never again adjourn his trial as a result of his lawyer not showing up in court. Nam1, who together with 2 of his companies have been charged for fraud and other financial crimes, told the court last Friday that his counsel had an emergency and had requested the court to adjourn the case. So that is the latest tale of the tape. Lawyer never showing up. Nana commissions 105 EU military vehicles, and they were donated by the European Union as part of efforts to enhance the nation's security and to counter terrorism. The vehicles include 13 Land Cruiser pickups, 10 GM Sierra Toyota Land Cruisers, Toyota single cabins, and Chevrolet Silverado Sierra pickups. But let me quickly go to page 14 for that reflection. You know, Frontiers Healthcare Services has been in the news a lot when it comes to corruption, and we've also sought, as a media entity, some information from the Ghana Airports Company Limited, and they have not been forthcoming to the point where the RTI Commission had to fine them over 200,000 Ghana cedis. Well, following the recent media publication of spurious, Frontiers Healthcare is saying, spurious, mischievous and false allegations of wrongdoing said to have been raised by one Okudjato Ablakwa against Frontiers Healthcare Services for its unblemished, valuable and enriching administration of the airport COVID-19 testing project. FHS, by this rejoinder, hereby debunks and rejects those allegations. You can read it on page 14 of the Daily Guide newspaper. But I always say, if there's nothing to hide, why don't you just bring everything to light? We know of certain things from the Caribbean and what has happened, Ghana. Why is all of this shrouded in secrecy? You don't hide what must not be hidden. Adwoa Safo, the Today newspaper, Adwoa Safo suffers humiliation during visit to Dome Market, and we want peace in Boku, groups in Upper East appeal. Those are the final bits. Any quick reflections as we go?
Yeah, so I think that, Boku and Upper East is very dear to my heart, so I'll pick it from the bottom. I want to commend...
We have 1 minute. We have 1 minute for all your reflections. So
yes, I think that we need to commend the youth for calling for peace in Boko. And then whatever public contract that we have, I think we have an obligation to make sure that all the dealings are made public, and we have a right to seek information and to demand the best. I think that our court processes need to be able to have a cap as to how long lawyers can present themselves or be available in terms of the technical difficulties they deliberately put in place, so that we can put finality to this NAM1 case. And then we want to congratulate the EU also for the investment into our counter-terrorism issue, because it's a very serious matter. Ghana on its own may not to be able to get help. And if you look at it, other jurisdictions have to go to contract private mercenary groups to be able to help them deal with the situation. So if the European Union is coming to support Ghana in this regard, I think we must commend the Ministry of National Security as well as the President and the European Union for this. And then also, Adwoa Safo, I think that some of these things can be staged, as well as also they can be a feedback. So politicians need to pay attention and put their ears on the ground and be available, because you always come back to the people to seek their mandate. And then also, you need to also deliberately balance this to see whether your detractors are planting people to do this, or really is the voice of the people. And they say the voice of the people is the masses. So we need to tread it balance, and she should put her ears on the ground to pick up things and use it to inform her strategies.
Brilliant submissions. Thank you so much, Awal, for joining the conversation. Awal Ahmed Kariama.
And let me congratulate the award winners of the...
I was just about to do that, but you go ahead.
Last night, yes.
And any ones you want to single out?
Oh, yes, of course. We have our very own Antonio Apobio from the GNA in Upper East, and then Edward Adeti of the Fourth Estate. I congratulate them. Thank you. And all the others. Of course, Erastus from your end.
All right. And I'll add my voice to that. Congratulations to Team Multimedia, especially Erastus Asaridonko. You've made us so proud, and you took that gong Journalist of the Year. We're proud of you for all the work you do. And that's the note on which we cap off the news review this morning. This segment brought to you by Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. They're offering you free prostate screening, free female fertility screening. Here's where you can locate them across the country. In Accra, Spintex opposite the Shell signboard. Kumasi, Chronom Abwehia behind the Angel Educational Complex. Takrady Anaji State, Tema Community 22, Techiman Hanswa and Siamanzima. Their call lines 0244 867 068 or 0274 2343 921. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. But just the start of the news review, my very own Red Devils succumbing to the blue end of Manchester. But there was also El Clasico, and Barcelona lost 2 goals from Jude Bellingham. That and more coming your way in sports. Up next. Welcome back on the AM show. We delve into our big stories now, starting with the very first. And some military officers stormed Garu in the Upper East region on Sunday to subject civilians, particularly men, to corporal punishment and physical assault, resulting in many injuries. It remains unclear still what exactly triggered the incident, but the members of parliament for Garu and Tempani have condemned the attack. We'll be talking about this on the show as we engage our guests. Adib Saani joins the conversation. He's a security analyst. Adib, a very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Benjamin. How are you?
I am well. It's a pleasure to have you join this conversation. I would just like to find out for you, I mean, this wouldn't be the first time we've heard of a similar incident. I was speaking this morning with Rise Ghana's Awal Ahmed Karyama, and he spoke about some of the antecedents. He spoke about youth with WhatsApp groups and putting things on there that sometimes stoke these tensions. He spoke about attacks on national security or threats of saying, and he spoke about munitions which these young people have. All of these thrown in the fray creates the escalating situations we are seeing. But for you, from where you sit, what could have triggered such an incident?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you to your producers. I think there is a bit of a gap, a disconnect between state security on one hand and the people on the other hand. And it is further exacerbated by the spate of misinformation and disinformation that is coming up from that area. Look, we have Facebook pages belonging to the two sides of the conflict where pictures of certain individuals are posted and threats made to the effect that we know who you are, we have your picture, and we are going to come after you. And Benjamin, believe it or not, such people are in the end killed, okay? In some cases, there are some individuals on the ground who are able to disseminate false information about the movements of certain persons they think are working closely with the other side, okay? And within minutes, they are able to galvanize people to engage in some of these acts of lawlessness. And I do agree with the level of proliferation of small arms and light weapons, especially military-grade rifles, including AR-15s, M16s, AK-47 in the area, is quite worrying. In some cases, the weapons they hold, the civilians, is even more potent than that of the military. And there has been a consistent pattern. I'm not in any way, Benjamin, let me be clear about this. I'm not in any way justifying the use of violence against civilians by security services, but there has been a consistent pattern of violence that included death of security services or agents perpetrated by civilians. And I have quite a number of cases I could mention. For example, on the 23rd of January this year, a police constable, her name is Regina Angelo, was shot at Habitat at Kingande in around the Boku area. Then on the 3rd of April 2023, an immigration officer, which became national news, was also shot at the Boku Municipal Assembly opposite the ambitious filling station. Then on 16th March 2022, military men also came under attack at Bari, Wabula. Then on 7th December 2021, according to my sources on the ground, a defense intelligence vehicle was set ablaze at Sabon Gari police checkpoint. Then on the 21st September 2023, a police escort was attacked at Bewa College of Education, Pusiga. Then on 13th May 2022, an ambulance was attacked at Bazua, Binduri. Other attacks against military, police personnel, and even personnel from the intelligence agencies has been well documented, and it is perpetrated by certain motivated individuals on the ground who feel they have more firepower. And I think it is something we really need to start talking about and to see how we can progressively harness the relationship between the people and, of course, the security services. And mind you, these acts of violence perpetrated by these armed youth is not only against the security services. In some cases, it's against their own people. And I always say that these security officers you see there, most of them are not from that area. They have families in other parts of the country, but they are there to ensure your safety. Okay, and government spends a whole lot of money that could have been used to develop the area and to create jobs for young people. But because people are hell-bent on killing people, we have these officers come in to stop it. So now if you are attacking them, it creates a very difficult situation for them. Violence against innocent people is not the answer.
Let me come in with a sequence of some of these attacks, because as we see in the Ghanaian Publisher today, there have been increasing reports of attacks on security officials, which makes it even more worrying, doubly or triply worrying in the Upper East region. On January 23, 2023, a police constable was shot dead in Gigande, and on April 3, 2023, an immigration officer was killed in Boku. On September 21, 2023, a police escort was shot at Bewa College of Education, Pusiga, while 5 national security operatives were attacked in Garu, like we're talking about now, on October the 24th, which led to this latest, apprehension of some of them and, unfortunately, beating, assault in there. But you also look at the sequence of events. You've also mentioned some of what has happened. Why do you think this continues unabated? Because they followed these national security personnel who were there for counter-terrorism activity, all the way even to the police station. And even there, they were shooting. They wanted to kill them. Special arrangements had to be made to be able to retrieve these 5 personnel, the team. That tells you that these people are simply not afraid and they are not willing to comply with the security officials. Now, the question is, what could lead them to come to such a state, a mental state where they are not even apprehensive of the presence of security officials?
Benjamin, I understand. When they confronted the national security agents, they introduced themselves, they identified themselves. They were taken to the police station, and I have seen videos that nobody has seen. I have seen videos that are not out there. So
what do the videos reveal?
A very, very bad situation in which shots were fired directly into the police station to kill. Those are the videos I've seen. Directly to kill. These were not warning shots. These were not shots that were fired into the sky. They were fired directly into the police station whilst people were taking cover. And guess what? One of the officers there belongs to the tribal group. I wouldn't want to mention. I hate mentioning the ethnic groups in that area. Okay? And so when
you say he belongs to the ethnic group that was conducting the assault, or the ethnic group that, you don't have to mention, but you didn't complete your sentence.
It's difficult for me to tell which ethnic group was conducting the assaults, but rather what I'm saying is the ethnic group that is in that area.
Right.
Okay, that is the most dominant in that area. So the thing is, a lot of this has to do with impunity. And I've always said that over and over again, it looks like we've given up on Buku and his environs, okay? A lot of these killings happen and nobody is held to account because the area somewhat is vast. So people stage all manner of attacks and they dissipate into thin air. Nobody knows where they are going to. Secondly, the issue of proliferation of small arms and light weapons gives them that sense of invisibility, that Rambo feeling, that makes them think they can confront even the military head on and wouldn't fear anything.
I am told they are able to do this because they are wielding, munitions that it's very similar to what the national security and other operatives are wielding. So in some instances, you hear that it is only respect for the uniform, but that they don't respect them that much because what they are wielding, they also have.
In some cases, they have more potent rifles than even that of the security agents. Okay, gives them that sense of invisibility. That is why they are able to confront them head on without fearing anything. Okay, so going forward, I think we need to do more. And I've always indicated the Small Arms Commission. Look, it is an opportunity for us to use the Small Arms Commission to stop these weapons from coming in. Our actions has been superficial. What we do is swoops, the military going in and seizing weapons. But guess what, Benji? The following week, more would come in. So until we make that deliberate, conscious attempt to prevent these weapons from coming in, we would always go for the swoops, and the weapons would keep coming.
Adib, so you're basically saying that our plan of action as of this point is not working because, like you're saying, we keep seeing stashes, caches of munitions in these parts of the country and likely in other parts of the country. You mentioned the small arms, group. Over the years, they've even proffered amnesty for people with arms. Practically nobody goes. And I was going to ask about the how these people lay their hands on munitions, but you've already started talking about it. They get it from different parts of, the sub-region, and we already know about the insurgency in here, the insurgent threat. How else can we tackle it?
Through intelligence, and for the first time in the history of the country, the Small Arms Commission, and in fact, Ghana is the only country that has done this in sub-Saharan, in West Africa, deploying small arms officials to the various border crossings. Elubu, Hamile, they have offices in Tema, Tamale, Polga, and so many other areas, volatile areas, particularly between Ghana and its neighbors. So we are able to prevent these arms from coming in. On the other hand, I think we need to build trust because one of the major issues is the lack of trust. And now we have see something, say something. How do we harness that trust so people would be willing to give out more information to the security services? So in case you see, persons engaged in the trafficking of these weapons, you will be willing enough to report it to the appropriate authorities. Because the thing is, a lot of these trafficking is done by a sophisticated network of arms traffickers. And we have criminal organizations in that area who are taking advantage of the insecurity to engage in all manner of criminality, including human trafficking.
Pardon the intervention one more time. You talk about sophisticated networks. I agree. Terrorist cells and all of that use those. But we also have what is supposed to be, if it is not, a sophisticated security operation. In recent times, we've had talk about the police being given this and that. In fact, I've just been looking at that story where our president has commissioned 105 EU military vehicles, everything from 13 Land Cruiser pickups, 10 GM Sierra Toyota Land Cruisers, Toyota single cabins, and Chevrolet Silverado Sierra pickups, among others that have been given to us. So are you saying that our security officials are not sophisticated enough, both in terms of munitions and in terms of the practice, general policing and security, to be able to tackle this menace?
Benji, I think if they were not doing their work well, you and I wouldn't have been able to have this interview. We would have been in a state of insecurity in the country. Okay. A lot has been done, I must say. I mean, I am a fierce critic, of the security services when they do the wrong things. I'm a fierce critic of the security managers themselves, okay? But let's give them what they are due. A lot of work has been done. However, a lot more still needs to be done. There's been a lot of work, especially with respect to intelligence gathering. Like you rightly mentioned at the beginning of the interview, those national security officers who were nearly killed, had it not been the timely intervention of the military, were on counter-terrorism activities. So they were actually there to help the people. And for the people to turn their back against them in this fashion is something I find really unfortunate. And one more thing, the security services cannot do it alone. I mean, the fact that you and I are having this discourse this morning means you and I are doing our bit. So we get stakeholders to understand the harsh realities and with proper ways to deal with it as well. The ordinary citizen has a role to play because the threat we are facing from, it's not everything we say because we wouldn't want to create mass hysteria. We wouldn't want to get Ghanaians agitated as it would have rippling repercussions on our economy, etc. But the threat is real, and the security services cannot do it alone. A lot of the intelligence they get are from civilian sources. So if the civilians don't cooperate with the security services, then it becomes a bit of a problem. So that is why I think going forward, the security services would have to collaborate with civil society and other stakeholders, so we would find ways and means to get the people to understand that we are representing your interests. We've left our families at home and we are here because we care about you. So if you turn your back against us, it really hurts. And that shouldn't be the case. So I think a lot more still needs to be done.
Now, I will stay on that matter because the Garu area, then you have, Boku on the other end. We seem not to have been able to clip the wings of nefarious characters. Now, I do understand, and I'm using my words carefully. There are the good people of these areas who want peace. And then there also are some of the young people who want to, perpetrate, sow the seed of discord and will not tolerate the other side. How do we deal with such instances? Because, look, there are groupings, and sometimes you see them on social media, Facebook. There are the WhatsApp groupings. And then there are those who have other channels of operating. Why do I bring this to the fore? If we're not careful, that is what insurgents take advantage of. There's a spark before you can say, Jack, there's a bonfire. All of these point to the fact that we must do more. But how do we deal with the situation? Because it appears, like you said, at some point, with Boku and the others, it appears to a certain extent, even our security operatives have thrown in the towel saying, you know what, there's nothing we can do.
Mm-hmm. Well, when a farmer wants to get rid of weeds on his farm, what does he do? He sprays it so it kills the very DNA, so to speak, of the weeds. If you superficially cut or trim the surface and leave the roots, what happens? It will definitely grow back. For years on end, I think our approach towards addressing the main crux of the matter, getting into the belly of the beast, is surely the conflict situation in Boku between the Kusasis and the Mamprusis. We've always deployed security personnel, we've always imposed curfews and all that, but it has failed all these years to deal with it. The main issue there is about the chieftaincy. I understand, as we speak, the Otumfuo has been asked to take it up just as he did with Tagbong, which finally brought peace to the area. But the Boku is much more complex than Dagbon. Dagbon was more about the same ethnic group, but with different gates. But this, we are talking about two different ethnic groups that have taken hardline positions so far as this issue is concerned. So I think government would have to bite the bullet and get things straightened up. But you see, when you try to please two masters at the same time, you end up pleasing none. And that is the problem. Because the thing is, if government doesn't take a hard stance, so we know who is really in charge of the place and who is supposed to perform his traditional mandate there, it becomes a problem. Because currently the area is divided. And it is even more complex in considering the nature of the place. We have one ethnic group around another ethnic group, which is caught up in the middle. You see, so it is really an issue that that needs to be looked at. The issue of the chieftaincy in Boku, okay? Then, like we mentioned earlier, small arms, light weapons. There's this issue of trust between the people and the security services, okay? We need to address, in the midst of all of this, I think this is the most important of it all. In 1994, the UNDP put together a document called the Human Development Report that centers the most important aspect of security on the individual, on the human being. Health security, water security, environmental security, political security, economic security, food security. And by food security, what I mean is, it's not bumper harvest, but people should be able to have access to the food. There can be bumper harvest, but if you don't have the economic security, you wouldn't have the purchasing power to access that food. So government needs to do more to address the human insecurities in the area. Because, Benji, believe it or not, there are some who fight without really understanding why they are fighting. You ask them, then they say, oh, my father told me this side, they killed my grandfather. Oh, they killed my uncle before, so I need to take revenge. We have young people before age 18 are able to disassemble and assemble rifles and are able to, in some cases, engage the military in a firefight. Education there is very poor, okay, because a lot of people have left school, a lot of people have left the area. So I think that government must do more through the Human Security Directorate and the National Security Ministry to address those structural issues. And I must say, Benji, a lot of work has been done, especially by the Human Security Directorate. Just that they wouldn't be able to come out and say, oh, we did this, we sank this borehole, we collaborated with this ministry to fix this road. No, they wouldn't be able. But a lot has been done. However, a lot needs to be done to address these structural, socio-economic, and geopolitical deficits in the area that is creating that catalyst, that is creating that enabling environment for people to think that the only way to survive is through violence.
Right. Now, I mean, the mantra, see something, say something. If you see something, say something, has been, with us for quite a while now. From time to time, you'll get messages even on that. But for our brothers and sisters in these parts of, the country that are seemingly conflict prone and prone to some of these happenings with arms proliferation really high, what then would you say such people in such catchment areas should do? I pose that question because this person knows that person. And sometimes when you go and inform or speak up, later on, you will be the same person to be attacked. Somehow, the perpetrators of these actions will get to know that it is Yaro XYZ who went and, spoke to the security operatives, and then they come and assault that person, for which reason a lot of such people don't want to talk. How do we circumvent that situation?
I was one of the ardent admirers of that initiative, I must say. However, these communities, they are different from Accra. or Kumasi. These are tightly knit communities. Everybody knows everybody. And I've said this before. You enter a community, they look at your face, and they are able to tell whether you are from here or not, and which family house you come from. I come from, for example, a big family in Tamale, a large Saani family with about 25 children, okay? Sometimes you're walking in the street somewhere, someone would see you and say, I like Saani's children. There's no way anyone can steal you, okay? So it does happen. That is why I think we need to create certain structures to make it safe for people to give out information. Our witness protection regime in the country is quite poor. People are scared to give information because they fear for their safety, okay? So if you are able to come out with a solid policy that would guarantee the safety of persons who give out information,
right,
and encourage them to do so, it would help, okay? Secondly, there's this number that has been widely put out there, 999. If you see something and you want to say, you dial that number. But the question is, what is it exactly we have to see to say? And this is exactly what we did in the past. The Center for Human Security and Peace Building, we put together a survey. We went out there, we asked Ghanaians, have you heard about See Something, Say Something? Those who said yes, they have heard. We asked them, what is it that you have to see to say? Most of them didn't know. In fact, one of them said they were looking for persons who were bearded like Osama bin Laden. So you can imagine the level of ignorance. That is why the National Security Ministry, it's a great initiative by all standards because it's been tried and tested in other jurisdictions and it's worked, okay? That is why National Security would have to collaborate with civil society. So we get enough experts on the ground to take the people through and make them understand what really the nuances are, how they can help, and of what benefit will it bring to them.
All right, and the final question, in 1 minute, I want you to address this. There's also our security operatives sometimes being too happy to unleash mayhem. I'm choosing my words carefully. Now, we've seen the military go again. Peace must be restored. The right things must be done. But the assault on some of our brothers and sisters, I saw some of the faces, some of the backs beaten, some of the effects of what our military officers did. I know it is all in the national interest. But at the same time, some innocent people will be caught in all of this. How can we do better in that regard?
I think the operation should have been surgical. I've read the statement by the Ministry of National Security in which they said it was an operation to retrieve certain weapons. Okay, I understand some have been arrested. I've even seen pictures of those. I think next time we have to be surgical and base our operation on the right intelligence. Right. Because when you go on doors and beating people, in the end, you would end up punishing people for offenses they have not, done. And so we need to be very careful because that further widens the gap and it has the potential of getting people not to cooperate with the security services, especially now we are talking about see something, say something. So I think it's an unfortunate event and I'm hoping they look into it. The right lessons will be learned and going forward, we'll do it much more clinically.
Adib, we're so grateful that you took the time to join us this morning and we wish you the very best, sir. Adib Saani, a security analyst, joining us for this conversation. Now, on the next belt of our conversation, coming down from Garu and Tempane, well, we'll be talking about the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. There's a lot more coming your way on that up next on the show. Welcome back, warm welcome back on the AM show. Now we're preparing you for an exhilarating experience at the Grand Fair of the 2023 EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. We'd like you to join us at the Accra International Conference Center from Thursday, November the 23rd to Sunday, November the 26th, 2023 from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Come engage with experts who will guide you through the home ownership process. And the 2023 EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is more than an exhibition. It's the gateway to your dream home. Now, the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is in partnership with EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and powered by the Planned City Extension Project from Cities and Habitats Rent to Own. It's also sponsored by Elegant Homes and General Constructions Limited, where quality meets value. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, Planned City Extension Project, Cities and Habitats, Elegant Homes, where quality meets value, Global Lighting, your solution to quality lighting, Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough, Gold Key Properties Limited, Building Prestige since 1997. Springfield Estates, where dreams are built. Virtual Security Africa, Complete Security Solutions, DBS, your roofing experts, Virtual InfoSec Africa, Security Solutions by Design, Saint-Gobain, making the world a better place, and Clifton Homes, Beautiful Homes, Wise Investments. Of course, we also have on board the Kensington Heights Airport City Kumasi by HDG Homes Limited. And we now have joining us from EcoBank, the head of personal banking, Godwin Yankee. He's here because they have quite the package for you, regardless of what you're planning, whether you want to build, buy, continue with your land purchase, or continue with the projects. And that's why he's here. Mr. Yankee, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Benjamin. Good morning. Happy to have me here.
So we're talking building or buying, and we're also looking at comfort, luxury, affordability. It depends on where you sit.
That's right.
On the financial chain.
That's right.
And then you would go for your options.
That's right.
But that is where EcoBank comes into the fray, because you need the mullah.
You need the mullah
to get things rolling. Now, I know that you have some packages on board, but let's tell listeners about what exactly EcoBank is offering by way of home building or home purchase.
Okay. So thank you very much. Then good morning to your viewers. Good morning, Benjamin. So EcoBank, as you are aware, we've been in partnership with Joy from this Habitat Fair. This is the 4th edition.
Yeah.
This year's fair started somewhere in July, and between July to date, we've had about 4 mini fairs.
In fact, for the first time, we've even gone to Tema.
So 2 in Accra, 1 in Tema, and I think the last one is in Takoradi. For all these fairs, EcoBank was fully represented. And just as we've done over the last 14 years, we've helped a couple of families, not that many, a couple of families get onto the property ladder, become homeowners, largely through our various financial solutions offering. So whether it is, as you say, whether it is to buy a home outright, or whether you have an existing home that you want to complete at your own pace, or whether you have an existing home but you want to renovate or upgrade the property, and lastly, whether you even just, you're not into home ownership, but you just want to buy a home appliance or furniture, we have various solutions to meet that. And these are some of the solutions that will be engaging patrons who will be visiting our stand come the 23rd November to 26th of November this year.
So you're saying that even for those who may not want to make a purchase of a building or something of the sort, and it's just the interior design, furniture and stuff,
furniture,
you have packages for that as well.
So those ones will come under what we call the consumer finance, the buy now, pay later. What we've done, Benjamin, is that we have arrangement with vendor partners who are prepared to let go or provide you those items. And then we pay those items, and then you pick it from the shop. It's a short-term loan payable over 12 months, between 6 and 12 months. And because these are cash sales to the vendors, we get discounted prices for those items. So just let me mention some of the partner vendors. So whether it is home furniture, then we have Oka Decor, we have El Fabo. In terms of home appliances, we have Melcom, we have Novotech, dealers in Bosch home appliances. And then even these days, this year we got dealers in solar system, solar panels for the home. So we have Translight and then Windsor. So these are partners that you can. Assuming that you don't want to go into any home ownership, but you just want to refurbish your hall, your sitting room, pick up. You can easily walk to these dealers, pick a pro forma invoice, come to us, we pay, and then you have 12 months to pay back.
Now, how can those watching us, how can some of those who would want to be active in the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair, how can they access all of these goodies?
Okay. So the first one is for persons who want to buy a home outright.
Okay.
Okay. And for such persons, the mortgage facility helps. There are certain requirements that come with it. One is that you need to have 20% down payment, and the EcoBank finances the 80%. So these are people who have.
So if we're looking at a property of about 200,000,
let's say a property of say, let's say about $1 million.
$1 million.
I mean, these days, $80,000 2-bedroom home would be very affordable.
So you pay 200,000.
You pay 200,000 Ghana cedis, and then EcoBank will finance the 800,000 over 20 years. A maximum of 20 years. So it means that the younger you are, the more years you have to pay back the loan. So these are ones for a group of category of clients. There are some, 80% of us who want to say, look, I don't have the 200,000 to pay. I have my land. I've gotten it to the rental level. I just need funds to complete my dream home.
Right.
In that case, we have the personal loan up to 5 years that you can access and then complete. And then I did mention about the buy now, pay later. We have also arrangement with build masters. They are dealers in building materials, whether it's cement, roofing sheet. So you can go and pick those items. We'll pay back over 12 months. But the idea is that you can gradually become a homeowner over time. Even with the home mortgage, we have clients who say, look, I have my own home. There is space around the land. I just want to do an upgrade, probably expand it from a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom. That's also possible.
Oh, wow.
The last one is where, for example, you have your own home, you've fully paid off, but you want to extract equity, the refinance. So, for example, you've paid off a $100,000 home. So you are sitting on $100 worth of value. So you can say, look, EcoBank just give me 50% of the value of my home. I want to either acquire a second property for rental purposes, for investment purposes, or even finance a child's education. So that's what we call the equity release. So that is also done. So in a nutshell, we have our mortgage loans, we have our personal loans, and then we have the buy now, pay later that you can access to gradually complete your existing.
How about those who even now want to purchase land to start a project, whether they are continuing a project or they want to start a new project? In terms of land, what are the dynamics?
For land, then the personal loan, 5-year loan, personal loan will fit in.
5 years?
5 years, up to 5 years. So depending on how much you earn, you could say access between 100,000, 200, 300,000 Ghana cedis over 5 years, and that should qualify you to get a very good land in a good location. Okay, and then once the land's acquired, you could be doing the regular top-ups or the buy now, pay later, getting the materials from build masters and co. to gradually complete home without any stress. So the personal loan for land is also it's a product that is available for those in that category, because it's not all of us that can qualify for the mortgage facility.
Let me also talk about the fact that at the end of, sometime in November, we'll have the main event of the fair. What are some of the key benefits that those who participate in that fair, or those who are now contemplating putting up something, can look forward to from EcoBank?
Okay. So as I mentioned in the earlier part of my presentation, we have over the last 40 years helped families, individuals become homeowners. And I think that no one should exempt him or herself out of this dream of owning your home. Much has been said about home ownership, the fact that it serves as financial security. It does even raising your children. So come the 23rd of November, what we'll be engaging our patrons is to let them know the financial opportunities. Benjamin, there's one thing identifying a home or having a dream, and the other thing having the financial support or financial resources to do that. So that's where we come in. So what we want to engage your viewers and patrons who become the come and at least have an idea about what EcoBank offers in terms of financial support, so that your dream of becoming a homeowner becomes a reality.
There's also, maybe before your final words, there's the issue of affordable housing, and that is always in the fray. There are also, since you've spoken about building materials, materials for eco-friendly building in Ghana, are there any projections on that as far as EcoBank is concerned, moving into the future? You're talking solar, but how about that end as well?
So you're right. So the consumer finance under which all these partner vendors fall under continues to grow. Day in, day out, we're getting partners come on board. So I'm not a bit surprised that I may probably by a year, but this time we should have eco-friendly or clients or companies that are into eco-friendly building materials who come on board. As I said, for now, beyond the home appliance, the furniture, we also have the solar systems for our homes, and then who knows, probably 3 or 4 months down the line, we have this category of eco-friendly dealers in building materials joining us.
Well,
so that's a possibility.
Any final words?
So my final words would be that come visit us at the EcoBank stand at the Accra International Center, and then let's help you achieve your dream, become a homeowner. Home ownership is also a means of building wealth, and as they say, it lays the foundation for a happy and stable family, which translates to a happy and stable society. So come and meet us up at the Accra International Center.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yankee, for joining the conversation. That is Godwin Yankee, Head Personal Banking with EcoBank. He joined us for that conversation. Stay with us because we have a lot more coming your way. And come November, the main event of the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair, 14 years running. We'll be right back with more on the AM Show. Welcome back, and I am happy to bring you the University for Professional Studies, Accra. It's all about their alumni homecoming, and joining us in the studio for a conversation, Francis Dadzi. He is UPSA Global Alumni President, and we also have Seth Jojome, Homecoming Planning Committee Chair. He joins the conversation as well. Gentlemen, a very good morning to you.
Thank you very much.
I just noticed, is it planned? Because there's something, exactly, the grays and everything, and the glasses.
Just tells you how far we've come.
How far you've come.
From campus life into industry.
I see.
That's the way it is for us. And we have people behind us. They are aspiring also to get this far. The grade tells you that you will stay long if you get into UPSA IPS.
The two of you are rocking it beautifully, though. I had a brief stint with the UPSA. I think this must have been 2014, 2015.
Wow, fantastic.
I got a certificate in forensic and investigative psychology.
My goodness.
You belong.
He's the first.
You belong. So you've got to come
we
up
are home.
now that you're here, you've got to get back onto it.
And you know,
I think the Faculty of Law, the School of Law at Legon will claim me more because I've done three, I've had 3 episodes of education.
We accept, but professionally, we
professionally.
Foundation.
No, it's not a foundation.
Right.
Forensic is not the in thing now. Forensic, it's not what is in on.
But let's get into this alumni homecoming. And Francis, I'll start with you. You're a global president. What's it all about?
Well, it's about like reconnecting with our alumni. They are all over the world, in the UK, in the US, wherever, playing very strategic roles. And we think that the current generation, with all that has been going on around, if we don't reconnect with the current generation and try to inspire them and mentor them and let them know that, look, you have people you can look up to who are disciplined, who are ethically doing the right things. You can also make it. Because now the trend is that, you do have to cut corners all the time. But we need to come back and let them know, no, it's not always like that. And so you can also make it if you are ethical and focused. And we want to also reconnect with ourselves. Look, there's somebody I had not met since 1989 when I left. She came to buy souvenirs. We have souvenirs and things. And that was the first I was meeting her.
Wow.
Since 1989. So that is the reconnection. And you see, our children and other people will go. If we don't keep together, when in our old age, that is when we can always keep longer, whilst we reminiscent and help each other. And those are the things that we want to achieve.
And especially in these times when things are so hard and people are cutting corners left, right, and center, you interact with a lot of young people who tell you that even the ideas they have for the future, they are not anything you would want to repeat. And so I think this is nothing but apt.
And frankly speaking, that's something we've designed as part of the celebration week.
I see.
We've decided that tomorrow we have a session with alumni. And then we've courted the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management Practitioners, TEMA chapter, to get involved with the students. We are going to have some engagements on various issues, as he was mentioning, things to bring out diversity, inclusion, things to talk about how to be authentic, to be creative. This concept of AI, one needs to carefully monitor what is going on, because you've got to think carefully to not kill out creativity. I think AI, if you look at applications currently, what I notice is that everybody goes onto the system and picks up a format and brings to you. Yeah. Frankly, when I look at that, I shudder and I say that, no, this person is not being creative enough, because you are not telling about yourself, you are telling us what you think should be said, not what you think you know of yourself. And it's a gap. And this
a gap that ought to be filled.
To be filled.
But coming back to you, Francis, what is the theme for this alumni homecoming? And what, if I may, are some of the objectives you seek to bring home?
Thank you. So quite as said, so it's from campus to industry, the role of professionals.
From campus to industry. The role of professionals.
In the business professionals. And like I said, if you look at even our local scenario, the Internal Audit Agency, the Controller and Accountant Generals, GRA, all those places have key elements of professionals from the IPS, UPSA brand, playing key roles. And if the Director General of Internal Audit Agency says they have saved Ghana 94 million Ghana cedis out of their internal controls and internal audit function, then you should know that majority of these people are products from UPSA. And so we are playing very crucial roles, but because we are professionals, we are always quiet. But now we said, look, we also want to acknowledge the trailblazers. There are some professionals who have blazed the trail and get into certain positions in the public service, in the civil service, in business. We want to acknowledge them. Then as a key, one of the takeaway is that we don't just want to come around and have celebrations and things like that. We want to also undertake a legacy project. And this legacy project is that when you went there, you realize the student participation is now about 20,000. Security is of concern. They do not have any police station security on their own. So we need to, out of these celebrations, we want to support the construction of a modern, fully furnished police station with all the other auxiliaries to cater for the university community and the surrounding community, businesses and residential properties around. We want to create a conducive atmosphere for them, because honestly, there are a lot of attacks and things going around in that area.
We do hear of these from time to time, and I think that's a brilliant idea on the security front.
Yes.
But then, speaking of the activities planned, coming to you, Seth, what do you have planned for this celebration or this homecoming?
Very well. We've already had 2 events on Friday. Exciting. We did a real start of the program with a homecoming, and we had a bonfire night. There was brass band music, there was choral music, and definitely the Jama session. And what I loved most was the alumni of the 2000, from the 2000 generation. I mean, in terms of the new millennials and the way they took over the stage, it was great. But by and large, it made us have an interaction with the students, and we held it on campus. Friday was exciting. Then Saturday, we decided to further go ahead with a fun day games project, and we played soccer, and alumni won against the students team.
Oh, and you did?
Yes, we did.
You beat them?
We beat them.
Man pass man.
Experience.
That's right. And then we had indoor games, including cards playing, Owari. We tried to relax the atmosphere, and we kept people in from about, let's say, 9 o'clock. Most of us left after 3, 4, 5. I left, with the team, we left about 7 o'clock, 7:30. Wow. Yes, we had an exciting time. And then what was interesting was the networking, the interaction, the reminder that, look, you were once students, you were once on campus, and wherever you find yourself, in whatever level, just come back and do something more. So Tuesday, which is tomorrow, we are looking at having an interaction with the students, just to make them understand that, look, you are students today, tomorrow you'll be like us, and you've got to also give back to the institute. Now, for those of us who are already in business currently, we are looking at Friday, where we have the climax of the event. We have an annual dinner, fundraising dinner. Annual fundraising dinner. And the idea is that, yes, you benefited from campus activities. You've seen the way IPS has grown in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the kind of facilities that are in there, the course content and things like that. We are of the opinion that we should be able to give back to the campus, to the institute, to the university, such that in 20 years' time, we should be able to also say that we did something for our alma mater.
Seth has kept talking about giving back, giving back. How can we contribute? How can people contribute?
Fantastic. That is the greatest question of all. Fantastic. So we have created a short code.
Okay.
It's star 771 star 10 hash.
Star 771 star 10 hash.
And UPSA 1850, the code.
Okay, UPSA
1850.
I want you to repeat both one last time.
Okay.
And take your time with it.
Please. Okay, so it's star 771 star 10 hash.
Okay.
And the code is UPSA 1850.
Okay.
1850.
So people can send contributions.
Contributions, 100 Ghana cedis, whatever contributions. If you also want to get a ticket because you want to come and join the others, music, live band, and other things, then you need to pay, it's 500 cedis.
Okay.
Okay, so they are all there. So when you get into the code, it gives you an option.
So they'll be given prompts, options to follow.
So if you want to, the 100 cedis, that's fine. If you want to, come to the dinner itself, fantastic.
That's right. And I like to add to that, we are looking at the Institute of Professional Studies of old, which has been converted into the University of Professional Studies, Accra. And I think that all of us together must be there, must do something about it. If you're not able to make a presence on Friday during the annual fundraising dinner, make an effort to make the contribution as he gave the code. I think that we should, as old students, for that matter, alumni of the UPSA IPS fraternity, we must be able to say, look, we are doing this because we benefited from the system. And I think that's key to me.
You took from the system, and now it's time to give back.
I agree.
To the system.
I agree, absolutely.
Any acknowledgements?
Yes. I want to acknowledge first of all, the Vice Chancellor of UPSA, Professor Akufo-Addo. He's doing wonderful work, and he is giving us opportunity to come back and use the facility. Those facilities are phenomenal, but he is giving us opportunity. And then the management of Multimedia Group. Ken Ansai is also an alumnus, your CEO, and he's been very phenomenal in his support. The PURC, Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission, the Executive Secretary, they've also contributed to this project. And it's wonderful. The Vice Chancellor is Ghana. You can imagine. They've also contributed. And then
that's interesting.
Yes, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because they are in the catchment area. So when we send the proposal, they saw the
just almost right.
That's right. So Consolidated Bank Ghana, Trinity Theological College.
The seminary.
Yeah, the seminary.
Right.
Fantastic. They promised to finish the whole police station when we're done.
Wow.
And so we also want to look at the planning committee member, then the Institute of Charter Institute of Human Resource Management, those who are coming to engage our students, and then the planning committee, and then we're appealing to all the businesses, the banks in the catchment area. We've written to all of them that we're hoping that is an ongoing project that they can come and support and let this happen. We want to say that this is our time. Okay. We have been out there in the quiet. Let's come out and give back to our society. And I want to also appeal to parents whose wards are there in the university, that look, we are taking the lead. We think that your wards are there. It is for their protection. Guardians, all of you, grandfathers and parents, let us come together and support this project for the next generation. It's a legacy project. It's a generational project. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining the conversation, gentlemen. We've had Francis Dadzie, UPSA Global Alumni President, and also Seth Jojome, Homecoming Planning Committee.
Thank you.
He has practiced the name, isn't it?
You've given me a good laugh. That's what I got there. And someday we aspire not just to the heights you've attained, but to the grey hair as well.
Lovely. That's a good one.
But interestingly, on Saturday, I'll be 60, you know.
Oh, congratulations in advance then.
And I've done 24 years with Advertising Association of Ghana.
Interesting. Well, kudos to you on your exploits.
Yes,
and
kindly drum it up for us. We want the alumni to get involved in this, especially the dinner. It's been exciting so far, so we don't want anybody left out.
That's right.
Those especially out of Accra, make time. If you need a hotel accommodation, just give us a call in the secretariat. We should be able to fix that up. But we are keen about seeing ourselves. Networking is critical in this matter. Networking, inclusion of everything we want to do. Come interact with the students too, and then build some kind of future for them too.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Seth, for joining the conversation. And this is where we cap it off for this conversation. But stay with us. There's a lot more action coming your way on the AM show. And of course, today is the day of the grand finale of the National Science and Math Quiz. We'll be bringing you that warm-up still here on the AM show. You don't want to miss a beat. We'll be right back. And on the night at the Ghana Journalists Association Awards, well, it started in the day for the first time, but went deep into the day. The Multimedia Group Limited bagged a number of awards, 8 of them, and of course, the coveted prize, Journalist of the Year. And even beyond that, we had, in some interesting categories, wins in there. We'll be walking you through some of them, but we have joining us in the studio our very own Emma Davies, and she won the award for Business and Economics reporting. And you see that beautiful award displayed right there. I even wanted to lay my hands on them, and she's like, yeah, Tobo, and your award. Relax and let me enjoy this. Emma, good morning. I see with the smiles and everything that you are just basking in the glory of winning this award. How did it feel, getting this prize?
Who knows me personally knows that I have worked hard. I've worked hard to get here, and it's all by the grace of God, really, by the grace of God. I think also I have a number of amazing people who help me come up with ideas and help me shape it. And of course, the amazing cameraman who also helped me shoot it well. Sometimes I may not have the concept, but then they do help me shape the story. Yeah, so it feels good to be recognized.
It's been quite a journey. Did you expect this? You've worked hard, yes, but there are so many people every year who work hard for the different categories, right from the topmost award, Journalist of the Year, to all the others in there. People are working hard every year to get them. Did you expect this?
Honestly, I didn't. I was just hoping I would win. Yes, so yeah, it is. I actually submitted for 2 categories, the Agric and Business, and turns out the business was worth it. And here we are.
So we won many other awards on the night. It was quite a lot of excitement for the team. But in this sphere, business and economics, how hard has it been, this journey? Because, like I mentioned, there are many competitors. What are some of the things? I want you to share with us. What are some of the things you've had to do? Joy Business, other shows you've had to bring to bear just to even get recognition like this?
So I do not have a business background to start with. And
you don't?
I don't.
Wow.
I went to GIJ. In secondary school, I did general arts. So after GIJ, I felt like I needed a niche, a space where you do not find many women. And I thought sports. But I realized, the interest wasn't there. And then I went to business. And over the years, I had to learn. I had to learn on the job. I had to read. I had to research. And I had good leaders or good senior colleagues like George Biafe, Nixon, Darrell, always chipping in, telling me, this or that, Lawrence. Sometimes I do not understand something. I don't Google or anything. I just go to them. Oh, what is this? What does this mean? How does this pan out? Then, I read, I researched, I learned from my colleagues, and here we are.
Here we are. So if I asked you, do you have any lessons to share with other people who may be contemplating coming into the media? Because there are some spaces, indeed, the women would say, oh, this is a male-dominated area and all of that. But this is a prime example of the fact that with the will, you can get there. What would you say to such people?
I would say you should believe in yourself first. I mean, at some point, I didn't really believe in myself. Thankfully, I had people around me who believed in me and helped me to believe in myself again. So first, believe in yourself, keep praying, keep researching, do not give up. I mean, it takes consistency to get to wherever you are. It takes consistency to get to wherever you are, to do what you have to do. You also have to ensure that you keep the people around you happy. Not necessarily happy, but then you keep the people around you educated. I mean, you keep the people around you, you listen to the people around you, you let them teach you, guide you, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Emma Davies there winning the gong for business and economics reporting. Congratulations to you. And the smile says it all. We're so happy. But we're also joined by the big fish himself. I need to reserve some special promotional what he has here for the man himself. In fact, he's so big that he can even afford to cross the camera. Erastus Asaredonko is in the building, and of course he is the Ghana Journalist of the Year, the GJA Journalist of the Year. He joins the conversation, and here we are. We have him seated. Erastus, Muni Ejumayo, you deserve the handshake and what he has here.
Yes,
but that one will be for.
No, I'm expecting that.
You're expecting that. But at this stage, you
are a big man, so it should come from you.
You, the one I saw in the morning, the one I commented in the morning. I will not talk about it at the assembly bar. Erastus Asaredonko. Now, we've been waiting with bated breath for this to happen. And I was saying this morning while introducing the show, Bibibo, Anyaba, Ejebo, Eja, Anyaba. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Mining, you took that.
Yes.
And then
illegal mining.
And then there was the much sought after award, Journalist of the Year. Now, some of us have prayed for you, we fasted for you, we've hoped for you. And finally, this has come through. Sometime last year, there was a lot of talk about this and that, but this year, it has happened. How did you feel on the day? How did you feel?
Super excited.
Wow.
Super excited. And knowing that we've been doing this for a while, since 2014. And this is the time that it got recognized by the journalism fraternity. There's been many awards this year. So if I add this one, it will be the 7th.
Wow.
But I was on it, seriously on it. And I think that there should be a cue from this. I always say wherever I go that government officials and duty bearers have been tight-lipped on what we do and the evidence we put out there. It shouldn't be. So the GJA has blazed the trail. Let's hear from those who are supposed to help us fight this canker. Please acknowledge the works we do and tell us what we want to do about it. We need to know that. The people deserve to know that. We shouldn't continue to be tight-lipped or silent on what journalists have done with regards to illegal mining. It's an existential threat. So please, let's hear from you what you want to do about it. Acknowledge the work we do, and let's hear from you what you want to do about it.
Today we've been talking about the Garu area and the latest happening there. This, what you've been touching on, is a national security issue as serious, if not even more serious, than that threat. And you know, that brings it into perspective. 2014 till now, 9 years, you've been harping on illegal mining and the negatives going on.
Yeah.
We know for a fact, even before the Professor Frimpong Boateng report and all of that, there have been officials in governments that have engaged in illegal mining and all of that. Now we have poison for gold, the second part.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about the fact that you've reported on all of these things for these 9 years, and there's practically little from the powers that be that is done? And in fact, the situation it has become far worse. How does that make you feel? Award, yes, but...
It vindicates the point that I've been hammering on for a very long time. People don't like it when I say it that way, but I have to say it as it is. Duty bearers, government officials who are supposed to handle this have deliberately been silent on what we bring out. And there's a constant narrative which is being spewed out there that, government is committed to be doing this, government is committed to be doing that, government is committed to...
They are committed, yes. And we never see the commitment.
Without acknowledging the evidence put out through these documentaries. And the beginning of wisdom is to start calling things by their real names.
Right.
It is time to start acknowledging what we do. We do not do it to spite anybody. We do it because it's an existential threat. It affects all of us. All of us. In fact, if you watch the Poison for Gold, the second part, which is showing this evening on the Joy News channel, you realize that we are not just talking, we've done tests on the samples we fetched. People have done works on soil where they grow cassava, plantain, and other things. They found traces of poisonous metals in them. This is not hearsay. This is fact. So, yes, people are dying secretly. They don't even know what hit them. So why should we continue to be silent on this? I think by now, the Lands Minister and other people should have come forward and acknowledged the documentary and say, we have seen it. We want to do ABC. Instead of government officials saying there is no evidence, they should look for the evidence. Some of us are there. We've been on the field. We have files stashed somewhere.
In fact, there were times when you were going with some of these officials at the start of the work of the Interministerial Committee. At a point, you had to step aside because of things that were happening.
Yes.
So it clearly shows where this is headed.
If you Google my works today, you'll find out that in some of my works, I mentioned names and I gave evidence. Some of them were bribing task forces and government task forces and all that with money. I showed it. So the names that we are mentioning today, some of them are still in the forest mining. If they really want to get to the bottom of it, they would. It's not rocket science. The devastation is there. The people who live there, they are still there. They are not dead. Some of whom have been affected. They know who mines were. They can tell you. The Minerals Commission has a database of areas they've demarcated for mining. Some of them along water bodies. So they know who is working where with geographical maps and all that. So it's not rocket science to say you are fishing for evidence to prosecute somebody if you really want to prosecute somebody.
That's a conversation we're going to have to leave for another day. Today, we're rather going to celebrate you. And I see you are in white. I think is a book of Marcos. And be careful unless you are in white shirt because you are careful. But even as we celebrate you, what more can we look forward to? There's poison for gold, but the fight, I would say, has only just begun.
Yes.
Now I am a fish person. You know, some of what you've done has really scared me. So I still do the fish, but I follow the. Is it the EPA bosses?
The EPA bosses.
So the head, no line.
The head anymore.
The bones, no line.
The head is tasty.
Charlie?
My sister here, she lost the head.
Especially the tilapia.
Emma Davies, we need you alive. The way the thing make, unless I can guarantee that it's been brought from some other parts.
It's a very serious issue. Even with fish from the sea, go to Anglo Beach and you can fly a drone. It goes for miles and you see how the pra is polluting the sea. Go to Ankobra town at the estuary, where the Ankobra joins the sea, and look at how the Ankobra is polluting the sea as far as your eye can see. What is this sending across? We have done tests. We found chromium, arsenic, lead in all the samples.
Mercury and all of that.
Yes. And so the river that is polluting the sea is sending this contamination across. And we get our fish from the sea.
Now even the Ivorians are complaining because our activities are polluting their
The beer, they came here this year. They are not happy. Even in times of war, when people poison our enemies' waters, it's a crime. But today, we sit aloof and allow people to use champagne machines on a major river like Ankobra and turn the sediments upside down, polluting the river with some of these contaminants. And then we have people growing plantain, cassava along it. Where do you think the water is going? It's penetrating the sediments, and you never know what is in your cassava, and you'll be eating across board, and you'll be getting ailments where they'll be testing and they are not finding anything. Meanwhile, you are dying. Kidney-related ailments all over. Tuberculosis with silicosis. Young men coming in with hardened lungs at Konfanochi. It's all over. So already, we are dying silently. And so let nobody deceive themselves and tickle themselves and laugh and say, oh, we are fighting. The government is committed to doing this. Go to the ground and see what is happening over there. Along roads, now major roads, Wasada Dieso, just by the roadside. The tailings spilling across the roadside. Duty bearers pass there, they see it. So why are we poisoning ourselves this way?
We're poisoning ourselves for gold. Maybe we've already got the title for the next installment, Dying Silently. Those who are, because I'm sure if you go in there too and then you start investigating, you see communities, and we've seen some of the research, these catchment areas and what it is doing to the health.
I never knew until when I started this thing that this research we're talking about existed, some of them way back.
Wow.
They've been published in journals. They are there. They've been sitting there all this while. The deformations linked to illegal mining, they've been there. You can cite many of them. People have done soil tests. Dr. Kobna Mensah, Professor Ahing, Professor Sampini, they've done these works long time, and they're sitting on the shelves. So if we know the devastation, we know the danger involved, why have we waited all this while?
Well, this will happen because we all know why. But congratulations.
Thank you.
Wunde Jumayo, Emma, put it there. They have made us proud. 8 awards, Newsfile, among others, also walking away. Newsfile was Radio Program of the Year. And of course, we had our very own PAV and Journalist of the Year, Erastus Asaridonko. Francisca Enchel was Female Journalist of the Year. Then we had Emmanuel Jivenu reporting on disability. We also had Erastus, of course, that's the other award he has here, on illegal mining. Emma Davies, business and economics reporting, among others. We celebrate all our prize winners. Erastus, Emma, thank you so much.
If I don't say thank you to some people, they're going to kill me.
Okay, so say it before they take you to the slaughterhouse.
So to my team members in Kumasi, the Saeed Ali Yaqub newsroom, Say Newsroom, headed by Akufo-Addo, Mr. Jim Agla, and the entire management in Kumasi, I say thank you so much. Kofi Asare is my camera technician, and he edits the videos. He's done a fantastic job. All the drivers who've been moving with us, I cannot mention all your name. I say thank you very much. And those who have used their works and have been bold to voice out, Professor Sampini, Professor Ahing, Dr. Kobna Mensah, Dr. Kumsen, and all those people who spoke to us in the documentary, we say I equal to you. Thank you.
Kofi Yabodi, we've mentioned your name.
I think I need to thank Irama because she has told me to file the award. always asking, Emma, the award. She and KOP.
You need to take care of her meals for one day.
People like that.
Breakfast, lunch, supper. You need to take care
in
of her.
Kumasi, Jimmy is the one who's been doing that to me. He calls me to the office, have you filed for the award? You've been doing so well. Why are you not getting the awards? File for it. So we say thank you to you.
Thank you for
and they fail to thank me for putting them on air.
Oh, thank you.
That's just by the by. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
And keep rising higher. Stay with us on the AM show, NSMQ and more. Still to come. We'll be right back.
Hello there, the day we've been waiting for, it's here. It's the grand finale of NSMQ 2023. What an exciting day it's going to be much later in the day when we bring you that live contest here on the Joy News channel. This is the AM show. Let me say thank you for staying with us. We appreciate your company. And as we always do, we are touching base with the schools that are in the final, Presec, Achimota, and Opokuwari. We start off in Presec, where Latif Idris is standing by for us. Hello, Latif. I can imagine the level of excitement. The Presecans are hoping to make this, what, number 8?
It's one of the
Hello, Latif, if you heard me, I just want you to tell us what's
Hello,
happening.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, I was just asking you to tell us what's happening on the Presec Legon campus. The Presecans are hoping to make this a number 8.
Yeah, Benny. So, as you'll see in the shot right now, the students, these are going to be the support base for the contestants at the National Theatre. They are just having up what we want to call the warm-up session before they join the bus that will convey them to the National Theatre. So this is part of the rituals that Presecans do on yearly basis before they move into all the finals that they've participated in over the years. So that is what you are currently seeing here underway on the compound of Presec. Now, we know the contest starts later in the afternoon. The contestants are getting ready, and then they will move together with the cheerleaders that you find in the background. And the morale on campus, you would say, listening on the ground with what people have been saying, that the contestants of Presec this year, compared to those they've had in the past, these ones are not at par with the previous competitors. But the teachers, the trainers, are telling us a different story. Their concern is that that has been the case. They started from somewhere, they've made it to the finals, and so people can have their opinions, but here in the school, among the contestants, among the trainers, they know what caliber of students they are dealing with, and they are very confident. A couple of the trainers here on campus. If you want to join us quickly for a brief one on what you make about the contestants for this year, and I mean the talk in town, that they are not at par with previous contestants, and so the morale on the ground isn't that strong, that you are going to have. What is the tagline for this year?
The
tagline.
Yeah.
Last year I said it was 7-11.
God is great. God is great. God is great. God is great.
So the concern is that God wouldn't be that great for you.
God is always great. I will serve a living God. And this year we are adding.
You give us your name first. Sorry about that. Introduce yourself.
I'm Isaac Ni. I started Master Academics.
Okay. So go ahead.
I said last year we served a living God. And we've seen that God has done so much for us. So we are saying that our God is a great God. So this year we are going for the 8. That's all.
How do you address the concerns, the talk of town, that your contestants this year are not at par with the winners of the past?
the horse is prepared for battle, but victory is of the Lord. For our boys, they're all the same. Human tempo and human behaviors are different. So last year we saw them to be speed at it. This year we are careful with our answers and we come out on point. Look at it all so far. We are doing our best, and we know we're going to win.
How has Presec addressed the controversy that has come with regards to you finally making it to the finals? I don't want to belabor the point, but what do you make about the controversy?
Yes, there's no controversy. There's no controversy. What controversy are you referring to? Can't tell me the controversy you're referring to. There's no controversy. We are obvious winners. What's the controversy in town? And you could see our performance that from the semi-finals, from the quarter-finals to semi-finals, our scores stood out to be the best of all. We're the highest. And this time around, we're doing the same. So what's the controversy in town?
I'll come back to you. So Presec has become the Real Madrid of the national about that. You've won it 7 times. No school comes close. What then is the motivation for you to go on and make the Lord great?
We always want to be the best. That is all. We are not aiming at being the best in Ghana, but being the best in the world. That is our aim. So multiple winning does not discourage us from going forward. Ours is to continue to, and nobody takes second as an achievement in Presec. All the old students, they don't take second as an achievement. They will jettison you. So we just want to go for the first as our motivation for ourselves and for the boys.
And so let's come to the school. What is the school telling these contestants so that they go in there at the back of their minds that we are going in for the kill?
The school always tells them to relax, and we always pray for them, back them with prayers. That is all. And our boys are very confident in achieving the best all the time. They are very confident. And what you asked my brother concerning opinion in town, that is their opinion. The opinion of our boys and God is different. That is their personal opinion. And your enemies will always want to put you down. But we will never succumb to their pulling down. We will always rise up to the occasion.
Tell us about the training for this year. How grueling was it for these contestants?
You know,
you introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to us.
Now I'm James Doche. And you know already, Presec, we have a culture. And the culture, once you get here, you must go through that culture. And that's what makes us stronger and stronger each year.
Do you mind sharing what culture you're talking about?
It is a culture of discipline. Everything. And the winning mentality. When you get here, you are told that you are a winner. And that alone tells you that you cannot be lazy in this environment. And that makes Presec stronger, and we are the shining star, not only in Ghana, but also the whole of Africa.
In the world.
So the question I ask again, how different would you say this year's training has been compared to the trainings you've had for the contestants in the past?
Like I said earlier, you know, each year we know the competition gets tougher and tougher. So for this year, the training, the culture is what I really want you to get, that we have a system here. Once you get here, you must follow that system. So the training is all right. They have gone through grueling training, not sleeping, learning all the time, and the coaches are with them. And that is what we do here. So we are consistent with our behavior. We are consistent with our performance. That's what we are seeing today to this final.
The Presec culture, you mean?
You see, the culture that is said in Presec, we believe in 2 things. That's competition. That's you compete with yourself. The end of Presec, competition. That's what we do.
Sincere apologies for the loss in transmission there from Presec Legon. We'll try and work on those lines and hear clearly and see better pictures from Presec. But let me take you to the campus of Opoku-Ware Senior High School, where Emmanuel Bright Kweku is standing by for us. As you can see, the boys are already in the mood supporting their team here in Accra. Hello, Emmanuel. Tell me what it is like where you are and how poised are students of the school for the grand finale today.
Sure. So, Bernice, as you can rightly see in your shots, these are some students from Opoku-Ware School, and it's excitement for them. They have just started. They tell me this is just a prelims of what is going to happen here on campus. That is if they are going to win the trophy. So it's excitement for the boys from Opoku-Ware School. They are so happy. And you know, Opoku-Ware, it's been 21 years since they won the trophy. The last one is in 2002. And this year, they are hoping that they will clinch their third trophy. And they tell me that it's a trinity for them. So it's just excitement for the boys. Let me find out from you. How do you feel? How do you feel?
I feel excited. Today we are winning the trophy. Master, the trophy is coming to us. It's coming to us.
So are you in any way scared of Presec? They've won it 7 times.
It doesn't matter. The school is the school. Opoku-Ware School is the school. Today we are coming. We best to go. There are only 2 schools together. And the rest, and the others. So today we are the trophy is ours.
But why do you feel so confident that you are going to win? Why do you feel confident that you are going to win?
Because we have one CB boy. Yes, we have one CB boy. We trust in that boy. That boy is. I don't know what to say. That boy.
You know something? It's a massive friend. It's a massive friend. It's a massive friend.
Those are some students from Opoku-Ware School, and the excitement, the heat from the boys is so much, and they are hoping that I'll quickly engage with some of the students. So let's enjoy some of the morale. That is the Jama from Opoku-Ware School, but I have some teachers from the school to have a short interaction with them. I have the chaplain for the school and also the academic headmaster for the school. Sirs, welcome to Joy News.
Thank you.
Sir, your boys are excited. I must say that if you should win today, the school might be on blazing fire.
We will turn the city upside down because this is history, and we are determined to make it.
Okay, sure. So, sir, how did it feel when you qualified to the grand finale?
Well, it was very marvelous because people rated us down, thinking even quarterfinals we cannot make it. But we knew what we were doing, and with the hope that we are going to the final and to clinch the cup. So that is what we want to do, and make Osei Krom a happy place for Opoku-Ware and Asante Mine.
Interestingly, I know you were once the headmaster of Prempeh College, and today you are here.
Sure, as a professional, I was with them during the regionals, but now I'm here during the grand finale. And this is where I belong now, and we have to make the history. That is it.
I will engage you later on the Prempeh bit. But sir, you are the chaplain for school and also the chairman or the committee chairman for the National Science and Math Quiz. How do you feel your boys qualifying to the grand finale?
In fact, it was the Lord's own making, and we're very excited because just as the assistant academic said, people rated us down, and the least expected we would have gotten to where we are today. So it was very exciting, and I remember very well when we qualified, beating Prempeh, our boys gathered themselves, started moving towards Prempeh, and they said they were going to teach them so that they can qualify next time. So as you can see, the happiness is still on, and it is going to be on until we bring the trophy.
You tell me this is just a prelims of what is going to happen.
It is just the prelims. I'm telling you, we are only warming up. We've not got into the field yet. Once we get to the field and you see our men, the Latins will say, Veni Vidi Vinci. We came, we saw, we are going to conquer. And that's what is going to happen today. We are bringing the trophy here today.
But what what is really informing this confidence? I know you have a Form 1 boy student there. How did you start with the recruitment of him?
All right, last year when they were done with the brain battle competition, it is also a science and math quiz for junior high. When they were done, we went for management meeting, and it came up that we needed to bring some of these boys on board. So quickly we informed the old boys. They went and brought him. We gave them special treat by teaching them the advanced science. And he's with his teammate, Bright. He's also there with them. And they are doing very well. So we began from that place. But previously, we were using our own students that were given to us by the government. So you do quizzes and exams to bring them together. Then as they move on, more of trials will come on. Then we'll pick the best out, then we'll contest. But now, we are also poaching from those who already have the background.
So meaning you are starting the recruitment right from JHS?
Yes, right from JHS. Those who just completed this year, we've contacted them already. And you know what? They didn't choose Opoku-Ware because they least expected we were going to get to this far. So they were trying to ask us what we're also bringing on board. And then they have chosen Presec, they've chosen Prempe already. But the very day we beat Prempe, less than 2 minutes, the boys started calling me, Father, we are not coming to us. We want to come to us. So they should come. We are giving them protocol. And they are coming to Opoku-Ware.
So meaning that the National Science and Maths is actually making people come to schools?
Oh, yes. Because now, you see, a lot of schools have the men. But because they are not making it in the science and maths quiz, that's why we're not even hearing about them. But it has come to stay. And we are going to make sure, after taking it today, for the next 10 years, it will be Opoku-Ware School.
Now, I want to understand, what would it mean for you to win this trophy? It's been 21 years.
Yes. No, 21 years. It's only 20. This year is not part because we are taking this year. So it's only 20 years. And 20 years of exile. After exile, you know what happens. We are now going to make sure everybody hear about Opoku-Ware School.
So what is going to happen if you win?
If you win, we have already made arrangements. Those who are in Accra will have to come down to Kumasi. We have already made arrangements. We will meet them at Ejoso. And our first point of call will be St. Louis, just to tell our ladies we have gone and we've won. They couldn't make it. We've made it for them because we are their men.
But Presec won't be easy. You've met them 4 times at the grand finale, and they always win. Are you sure you are going to, is it going to be a repeat of history, or you are going to revenge them this time round?
In fact, we are not even going to revenge. There's always a first time. They could have taken 100 times. We don't mind. Today, we are going to break every yoke that was on us because we are bringing the trophy here. We don't care about Presec. The only thing we are looking for is the trophy, and that's what we are eyeing. We are not eyeing Presec, we are not eyeing Achimota. They are part, but they are not those we are concentrating on. It's the trophy we are going for, and that's it. So stand on our side, we are going to bring it. It's favor. Favor is going to carry us through, I'm telling you. Yes.
So I have been interacting with Reverend Father Clement. He is the chaplain and also the committee chairman for the National Science and Maths Quiz here at Opoku-Ware School. I also have a former headmaster of Prempe College. Sir, you tell me, 2021, when you won it, and there was fun at Prempe College. In case you win this time round, Assistant Headmaster Academics Opoku-Ware, what is going to happen?
That will be history. Means that I'm doing the double. You know, Prempe, I did the 21. We brought the cup home, and it was joy all over. So if I'm to repeat that here, now I'm in charge of academics, that will be clear history, and that is what we are looking forward to do this time.
So I have been interacting with some of the management of Opoku-Ware School, and just so you know, Presec Legon and then Opoku-Ware have met some 4 times at the National Science and Math Quiz. In 1995 they met, in 2003 they met, 2008 they met, in 2020 they met, and in all these competitions or contests, Presec Legon have triumphed over Prempe College. But the students and teachers over here are confident that this time round it's going to be a revenge, and definitely they are going to triumph over Opoku-Ware this time. So let's enjoy some more of the drama happening. So I also have a teacher from Opoku-Ware School. So how do you feel? You see your boys just singing, dancing. It's a lot more joy.
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. You know, today we are going to spoil them. We are going to spoil them. You get that? So I'm very excited for us. We are very excited. And then today, we are going to spoil them. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home. Believe us. Katachie, it's coming home.
Are you old students from this?
Yes, please.
How did you feel? Which year?
2019.
2019.
Yes, BB645. That's my number.
Okay.
Come on, make noise. Let's hear you. Make noise. Make noise. Let's hear you. Make noise. It's coming home.
But what would it mean if you win? How would you feel when you win?
No, it won't be that flabbergasting to win because we are Katachie, we are warriors, right? No, I'll be very excited. We are winning it. It's coming home, as I said. So watch us. Watch us. We are winning it.
We believe in the Trinity. This year, OWAS is winning the contest tonight. Heat. OWAS is winning. We are taking the trophy. We believe in the Trinity. Stephen, a man of God, is coming to perform.
And those are some of the students from Opoku-Wari School, and it's excitement for them. Okay, so their teachers are trying to calm.
I can imagine that, Emmanuel.
School.
Yeah.
Excitement on the campus of Opoku-Wari School. They are hoping to clinch their third trophy and make history. Definitely, they are hoping to get their Form 1 boy, that is Stephen, to win this year's trophy for them and make a historic win at the National Science and Math Quiz. So these are the students from Opoku-Wari School having some fun here. And then we'll be bringing you up to speed what happens on campus. So, Bernice, that is what is currently happening at the Opoku-Wari campus here in Kumasi.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel Brightquaku. They're bringing us some sounds and sites from Opoku-Wari School. He will be stationed there from now till the competition ends, and we'll be bringing you updates as and when we are able to do so. Let me just inform you that unfortunately we are having some difficulties in bringing you our live feed from the Achimota School. We are working frantically to get that to you. But let me take you now to the National Theatre, where the grand finale will be happening. Jacqueline and Sumaya Boy is there for us. Hello, Jacqueline. I can imagine that the place is already prepared. We are told we're expecting the president and some other dignitaries. Tell us more about it.
Well, good morning to you too, Bernice, and our lovely viewers. Currently, I am here at the National Theatre. And of course, we are at the highly anticipated stage of the National Science and Maths Quiz, which is the grand finale. Just as you can see behind me, we have the backdrops of the contesting schools right now. We have Achimota School, and we also have Opoku-Wari School right here, as you can see behind me. And we also have Presec. I have some old students here that I'd like to speak to, but currently preparations are still ongoing at the National Theatre. So let all the old kindly join me here. Kindly join me right here. Okay, so which year did you complete?
2020.
That was just recently. But what are the expectations from your boys this morning?
I mean, we're optimistic about our winning because, I mean, watching from the beginning, the early stage, you see how prepared the boys are. And so we are sure that we are taking the 8th trophy. We are very, very optimistic, no 2 ways. So just relax and receive greatness today. Yeah, we are very optimistic. That's what I can say.
Very, very optimistic. All right. Now, what about you? Let me stand in between you two. What about you? How are you feeling this morning?
Oh, we are normal. You know we are going to win this quiz by His grace. As our motto says, Illuminito videbi Musliме, which means in thy light you shall see light. So we are surely going to win this quiz by His grace. Yeah.
You know, you seem very confident. What's informing your decision right now?
Oh, I mean, Motown and OWAS, they are not any school like that. They are just like our kids, Bob. So we are going to win this quiz, surely. We are going to win. Yeah, that's all I have to say now.
Now, you know, all the schools meeting right here are champions. Just that your school is a 7-time champion, OWAS is a 2-time champion, and Achimota is also a 2-time champion. But don't you see them as threats because they all did incredibly great during the semis. We have your school coming in with 44, Achimota coming in with some 41 points, and also Opoku-Ware coming in with some 38 points. Don't you see them as like a formidable force for your school?
The rest of the schools are all potential winners, but if you check records, if you check the stats and everything, you see that's what I said earlier, that we are very, very optimistic. We are taking the 8th trophy. I mean, I'm sure you know that you are taking the 8th trophy, but then...
For me, I don't know.
but you see, we are supposed to... You can't just give us the points. We are supposed to prove the reason why we are champions, and so, I mean, everyone should just relax and watch greatness today. That's what I can say. We don't talk much. This is Presec, of course, so just witness greatness today. That's what I can say.
Just witness greatness today?
Of course, you have to. I mean, we are too sure. I mean, you know the guys. Have you followed the contest this year?
Oh, yeah. I was there with them during the national contest, right through.
So exactly, you know what I'm talking about. The guys are really prepared, and so we are waiting for it to see our 8th trophy.
You're waiting for your 8th?
Yes, we are dominating today.
All right. Now, let me ask you this question. Assuming Presec wasn't here today, which school would you have been supporting?
Oh, if Presec wasn't here, I'll still be supporting Presec, because I know Presec will still be in the finals, because Presec is in the finals, and then you can't say Presec will be.
Oh, it's not always. Yeah. It's not always.
But then last 2 years we were here, last year we were here, and then this year too we are here. So it's something normal for we Presecans, yeah.
Okay, all right. So these are all students of Presec. Now I have other students here who are also joining me. Kindly join me here, Presec. All students. Let me move over to them. Now, kindly join me here. How are you also feeling right now?
Well, the feeling is great right now. I'm very optimistic about my school. I trust my school. This is no competition for us, actually.
It's not competition for you.
No, there's no competition for us.
Hey, what's informing your decision? You seem to be very confident this morning.
I believe my boys, I trust my boys, I believe my boys. We are very good in it. Yeah, this is our game, so we are very relaxed. We are just waiting for the boys. We know we will win this.
What points are you seeking to move out with today?
At least 50 points.
At least 50 points. Okay, all right. So we wish them all the best. So we are still right here at the National Theatre, just as I said, and preparation is still underway. Setup is still ongoing at the National Theatre, and behind me, all the backdrops for the schools are ready. Opoku-Ware School, Presec, and also Achimota School. We have all these schools right here. But before I go, the 2023 National Science and Maths Quiz is produced by Primetime Limited and sponsored by Ghana Education Service in partnership with GOL PLC and supported by AT, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, and Pepsodent. And also the broadcast of the National Science and Maths Quiz on Joy News and Joy Prime is supported by Vitamilk, NASCO, German Ozone Medical Center, Royal Foam, Jama Soap, Heritage Christian College, Virtual Security Africa, Ace Medical Insurance, Chobos Technologies, Centers Tank, DBS, New Crystal Health Services, Invest Corp, Bills Financial Technologies, Better Malt, Bright SHS Kukran to me, and Family Health University College. So we are still right here at the National Theatre, and just in case there's more, we'll bring you up to speed details of the contest right now. I am Jacqueline Ansuma Yabua. Over to you back in the studio.
So much, Jackie there joining us from the National Theatre, where the grand finale of the NSMQ 2023 will be happening later today. We'll start our build-up exactly at 1 o'clock on this channel, so you want to stay with us. And apologies once again, we had some difficulties in bringing you our feed from Achimota School, but subsequently we will definitely bring you all the sights and sounds from the 3 finalists. I'm Bernice Abubedulansa. Thanks for your company. And if you're not able to catch the quiz live here on the channel, or you have to step out, you can do so on social media. We are Joy News on TV. It'll also be on Joy Prime on Facebook. From Benjamin and I's goodbye on this edition of the AM show. Thank you for staying with us. Up next is News Desk with Aisha Ibrahim.